Book of Ezekiel, Ezekiel chapter 11. Judgment on Israel's leaders. Then the Spirit lifted me up and brought me to the gate of the house of the Lord that faces east. There at the entrance to the gate were 25 men, and I saw among them Jazaniah, son of Azur, and Pelatiah, son of Benaiah, leaders of the people. The Lord said to me, Son of man, these are the men who are plotting evil and giving wicked advice in the city. They say, will it not soon be time to build houses? This city is a cooking pot, and we are the meat. Therefore prophesy against them, prophesy, Son of man. Then the Spirit of the Lord came upon me and he told me to say, this is what the Lord says. That is what you are saying, O house of Israel. But I know what is going through your mind. You have killed many people in the city and filled its streets with the dead. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. The bodies you have thrown there are the meat, and this city is the pot. But I will drive you out of it. You fear the sword, and the sword is what I will bring against you, declares the sovereign Lord. I will drive you out of the city and hand you over to foreigners and inflict punishment on you. You will fall by the sword, and I will execute judgment on you at the borders of Israel. Then you will know that I am the Lord. This city will not be a pot for you, nor will you be the meat in it. I will execute judgment on you at the borders of Israel, and you will know that I am the Lord. For you have not followed my decrees or kept my laws, but have conformed to the standards of the nations around you. Now, as I was prophesying, Pelatiah, son of Benaiah, died. Then I fell face down and cried out in a loud voice, Ah, sovereign Lord, will you completely destroy the remnant of Israel? The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, your brothers who are your blood relatives, and the whole house of Israel are those of whom the people of Jerusalem have said, they are far away from the Lord. This land was given to us as our possession. So just in this first part, there is quite a bit of things going on. So this is Ezekiel during the time of right before the exile, the full exile of the people. This is Ezekiel telling Israel, Judah, Jerusalem, the people left, what the Lord has seen, and what the Lord has witnessed. And at this time, pretty much the people had fallen away. They had stopped worshiping the Lord. They were utilizing the Lord's temple for whatever, including other idolatries things such as worship of other gods, doing all kinds of detestable acts as well within its walls. And so also not providing justice to the people. Remember, they had fallen so way that they were doing pretty much the opposite of the Ten Commandments. They did not love one another. They did loathe and did want the neighbor's wife. They did murder. They did steal. They were greedy. They were not helping the elderly or the widower. And so there was no justice. There was no justice to be had. And it was all about what was best for oneself and who had power, who had money, who was the greediest, who was the most wicked. Sound familiar, right? I know. Just talking about this, it's like, wow, nothing new under the sun. So here's Ezekiel telling them that the Lord is seeing these things. The Lord is seeing that there is no justice. And here's these people utilizing each other as slaves, utilizing each other as walls, to protect themselves from their own fears, the fears of death, the fear of pestilence, the fear of the sword, and something coming against them. And the Lord is, at this moment, he's saying, you know what? you're not only following me, I'm witnessing this, but here are the consequences. I'm going to not protect you from what you have created, what you have decided for yourself, which is destruction. And so here's the Lord telling Ezekiel this, showing Ezekiel this. Ezekiel is showing the people. And then while he was speaking, listen to what happens. While Ezekiel was speaking, now as I was prophesying, Pelatiah, son of Benaiah, died. Then I fell face down and cried out in a loud voice, "Ah, sovereign Lord, will you completely destroy the remnant of Israel?" So here is someone who is leadership. Remember, this is Pelatiah, who was 5 men of the 25 men, and I saw among them Jezaniah son of Ezra and Pelaniah son of Benaiah, leaders of the people. These were leaders of the people, so they were not holding themselves responsible for how they were leading the people. So the Lord held them responsible. The Lord was like, this is, you've caused destruction. You're leading the people astray. You are intently doing it. So not only do they know the words, do they know the law, do they know what the Lord's command is, but they have rejected it. They have completely rejected it. They refused it. They denied it. They are themselves rebuking what the Lord has for them, which is blessings, honor, like praises. You know, the Lord is the good shepherd. The Lord wants to take care of his flock, but wickedness happens. Wickedness in the form of people wanting to control things and only looking out for what their best interest is. And it's a blindness, because what we see is what the devil wants us to see. What the devil doesn't want us to see, how we're actually harming ourselves. He's given us a bowl of lies. And so here's this leader who has fed into this bowl of lies and now has accepted that lie, the lies, as something that's going to benefit himself. So here's the Lord allowing for the consequences to happen, and now's the time. And so Ezekiel sees that. He sees what's happening because he is being utilized by the Lord. And this is part of his family. He's part of the community. He's part of Israel. He's part of Judah. He's part of Jerusalem. So he understands that there is wickedness, but he also understands that on the humanistic side, that's why he throws himself down. He's like, there's not so many of us going to be left. Is even the remnant going to be gone? And this is when the Lord says to him, look, the people who you're with, majority of them, I understand. He understands. He's listened to what the Lord's telling him. The word of the Lord came to me, son of man, your brothers who are your blood relatives, and the whole house of Israel are those of whom the people of Jerusalem have said, they are far away from the Lord. This land was given to us as our possession. They are not worshiping the Lord. So the people around him, the people who may have been his friends, there may have been a friend or two. Of course, Ezekiel telling the people the truth, from the Lord's word, he wasn't looked upon as, he wasn't popular. Let's just say that. Most of the people probably did not like him, but he may have had a few friends. And even those few friends, some of them may have not, or may have not followed the Lord, may have rejected the Lord. And so at that time, the Lord's telling them the truth. The truth sometimes hurt. Okay, there's a lot here. Bringing past to present. There's multiple things. There's sermon upon sermon here. Bringing past to present. Okay, first thing, leaders and consequences. So when there's leadership, when we are in a role of leadership, so we're going to go in this route for right now. For the first point. Roles of leadership. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are guided correctly, that we are still studying, still utilizing knowledge, even knowledge from others within the group, and formulating something that is going to help benefit everyone, not just the one. And of course, seeking the Lord's guidance at all times. The Lord can tell you hey, utilize this person over here. Look at what he did with Moses way back when. He said, you know what? You're going to build the tabernacle. I have laid the information in certain people, these skillsmen. You're going to go to these people and they're going to help you, because he understood, the Lord already had it designed that there was going to be multiple people creating and helping with the tabernacle. And it wasn't just going to be Moses was leader, Moses did this, Moses created everything, built everything himself. He knew that this is a family. So he's showing Ezekiel already, this is a family, and the family is suffering consequences because of leadership misguidance. Leadership misguidance. And so when it comes to ourselves, when we start seeing things go down the wrong path, turn to the Lord. Turn to the Lord for guidance. Take a moment with the Lord for guidance. Seek his understanding, because he can give it to you. You can say, hey, you know that person, that coworker that you didn't quite think, maybe didn't get along, maybe there's character conflict. Actually, there's something that may help. Why don't you, I know I'm going to give you the words, use a tact. Say, you know what, this spreadsheet, we're all having difficulty, but I'm to understand that you know about Visual Basics. You know a little bit of something about or certain types of formulas that can help out. And it's okay to humble ourselves. It's okay to utilize a understanding that we're all in this together, and that acknowledging that not just one person is going to outshine, be the shining star. It's going to be a group. It's going to be everyone together. And that shows, and we'll get to the New Testament because Jesus has a prime example in the New Testament. When we get to the first four books, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, he's going to give it to us. So on that first part though, in understanding the leadership role, understanding that there also could be consequences, also understanding who to seek guidance from. Before we go on though to our second point, what kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind when we read over this? How does it make you feel, and what does it make you think?